Hi, fam. Give me a second. I am going to record to the cloud. All right. What is up, fam? So excited for you all to be here. Today is going to be an amazing workshop for everyone. We're going to be covering how to get clients with Viera OS, and we have Bex. Bex has been in my world since 2021 at this point. Oh my God. She's really a part of the family. She even flies over from New Zealand and comes stays with us for long weekends and stuff. So Bex is like an OG. She also used to coach a lot of our clients when we used to have our sales agency. And Bex has been helping really just get into the nitty gritties of Viera OS. She's been religiously using it in there every day, also telling me, what's working, what's not working, but also she's been using it for her own content. And she's been using it to get herself clients, which is so amazing. In your first 7 days, how many clients did you get?
Sitting at 4 now.
Four clients.
Yeah.
So freaking good. So good. Oh my God. I'm like blown away. So what we want to show you and what Bex is going to show you is how she's been using Viera OS, the things that have really made a difference for her, how she's having those sales conversations, and just her workflow, so that everyone else can, watch this back, apply it to your own business, and hopefully you all get some amazing strategies and start executing some of the things that Beck's going to share with us today. How's that sound? Good? Amazing. All right. So I'm going to hand it over to Bex. And yeah, maybe Bex, you can introduce yourself and then you know what to do. You're good at this.
Sure thing. Hey guys, my name is Bex. Like Jess said, I've been around a wee while. I just adopted the Viera sisters as my sisters, really. Um, so I have been loving using Viera OS. I have been in here playing around, tinkering with things, messaging Jess when I'm like, this isn't working, that's not working. But I've had a lot of success in a couple of different areas that I wanted to show you. I'm just going to share my screen with you. Uh, this one, actually, can I share a tab? This one. Okay. So, can you see the Viera OS tab that's open right now?
Sure
Yes.
can. We can see.
Beautiful.
It's just a very small screen.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can. Did that change anything?
Sure did.
Okay, beautiful. Cool. Let me just move my face out of the way. Cool. So I think something that I found really super helpful when setting it up was really taking the time to go through and putting in all the assets that it was asking me for. So this brand foundation and like everything it's built out in here, a lot of this stuff, so I filled in my ICP document in, quite a lot of detail. But then when I imported it into the shared brain, there was actually quite a few things missing, and like some important information that was missing as well. So through the AI kind of interviewing me, it was really helpful to kind of pull those things out or give me some more clarity on what I was actually trying to say. And I was talking to Jess about it, and I said that some of this stuff, like especially probably in the voice, not voice profile, sorry, the who was it? In here, yeah, this one. That I've never been able to articulate what I'm trying to do so specifically. Um, I find it hard sometimes to put word, like I know what I'm trying to say, I know what I'm trying to do, but sometimes I find it difficult to put it into words to tell someone what I do, which is obviously the whole point of trying to sell your services, right? So um, I think there was a few things in here around like what triggers them to buy. I've never really looked into that much, other than like what are their pain points, what are their desires, outcomes, that kind of thing. So my first recommendation would be make sure you do everything you can to make the brand foundation as built out as you possibly can, because I think the effort, and it did take me a wee bit to set up, but I think the effort it took way outweighs the benefit, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Because if I didn't have all of this knowledge in here and all of the details that lives in here, I don't think the content and the sales conversations would be as good as they have been. So that's super, super helpful. So starting with the sales conversations. So what I did was I had a TikTok video go semi-viral last week. Um, the this sales conversation helped me pick out a really good hook. The video was not. It was just one that I was making during check-ins. And so what I've done is I had 30, I think in the end I got about 36 applications off the back of this TikTok video. And I was like, when I was setting up the brand Bible, the AI flagged to me like, hey, your sales conversations aren't probably as strong as they could be. And so I got these applications and I'm like, okay, let me see how I can do this better. And so I came in, started a new session. Obviously, it was like, I need some sales conversation help. Can you do this? And so it's come in here. I've asked it, can you help me? This is what I would typically say. And then what I like about what it's done is it's given me like specific points. What's working, what's weakening it, what would make it stronger. I'm like, cool, awesome. Here's some specific details about like part of the application that I'm asking you about. And then they've given me like an example of how I could open a conversation. I did tweak it a little bit. It was a little bit wordy. But like it's given me very obviously, I learned from here what's not working, what is working. This has helped me give it context, how to like implement what's working and what's not working. And then I've started just asking it questions because I genuinely wanted to understand why it was telling me what was working, what wasn't working. So I've asked like, can you tell me why I would open with starting with the pain point? Then it's given me an explanation of why it would suggest going that particular way. And then what I've also done is, so I've copied and pasted a conversation in here. I've said, what's your opinion? Where would you take it from here? And then this is what's helped me learn like more of a cadence of the conversation where it's showing me what information to pick out of the messages and what threads to pull basically to continue the sales process in a really like effective way without just asking random questions and getting random answers that aren't particularly helpful. So it's given me an explanation about like what it's pulled out. So she's given you 3 really clean triggers. And also while I'm going through this process, I will read the message and I will think, okay, I think this, I think this, I think this. Ask AI, like, what would you pull out of this? Pulled out the same things I did. Cool. I know I'm kind of on the right track and reading the message how I would, need to be reading it. Then it's given me an example about how I could say that, which was really helpful to take, again, the knowledge of like, okay, these are the triggers. This is the question that you would ask off the back of finding out what that is. And then obviously, where would you take the conversation from here? I'm so curious. And then it's given me a detailed example. It's just breaking down the message even more. So I'm understanding again, more what I'm looking for, what threads I need to pull. So it's, the goal at this stage is still excavation. I'm not trying to fix anything yet. You're just trying to build up a big picture. Here's what you do know. And then here's kind of like, oh, can't see that, where a direction that I can lead her in to make the sale more possible.
And I want to add on that, Bex, like, see how like her responses are like so detailed. The reason why, and me and Bex were talking about this before we got on the call, I was like, firstly, I haven't even put any of my sales co-workers into the marketing intelligence yet. So that's a whole other section that's coming out for everyone. But I was like, we were talking about it and we're like, wow, because she had done her brand foundation and her offer docs like so well initially, and she took her time through the onboarding process. And she really gave it a lot of context, and she got the AI to interview you and ask you questions. Like what we're seeing here in this, like obviously, all the sessions, no matter where you are inside of Viera OS, will have context about you. And this is the most important part about like the shared brain that's inside of Viera OS, is never forgets you. And you can see in these outputs, which I'm reading this, Bex, and I'm like mind blown coming from,
Right? Like
you know,
the way it's able to
like
articulate things to me, I'm like, that's exactly what I was trying to say. I just didn't know how to say it.
yeah, exactly, right? And what's cool, like what you said earlier on, is like it brought up like what your buyers are thinking, how they
Mhm.
buy, where are they avoiding from buying, what are their patterns, what's their identity, like what's their behaviors. And you can literally see now it's explaining to you because of your shared brain is connected to all of this. So it's not just giving you generic outputs. Because when Bex told me about this and now we're looking at it, I'm like, there's no way you could start a brand new Chat GPT account or Claude account and just all of a sudden get it writing you messages like this. There is absolutely no way. It would take you at least a month or maybe 2 months just to train your AI to give you outputs like this. And this was done in 7 days, which blows my mind.
Especially with like the way that it's got like if you were starting a Claude account or a ChatGPT account, like you said, it wouldn't be able to give you these specific points. Like it really has remembered and solidified, like, okay, yeah, I'm a health and fitness coach, but it's not really about weight loss. Like, sure, that might come up on the front end, but actually it is the deeper triggers, the psychological work behind it, and it's just labeled it perfectly. Like even, here's what you know so far. Self-identified binge eating disorder, the triggers. Um, and then it's even got into, like her avoidance patterns, how long it's been a problem for, how long she's been running away from these things for. So yeah, it's
At the
really
same time, it's like helping you understand
exactly. And
your
that's what I
ideal
wanted
client.
to use it for. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. So it was interesting actually going through that brand foundation and it kind of picked up like your sales conversations or sales skill. I can't remember how it said it, but it needs work, like could be better. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm open to that. Tell me how you think it could be better. And I mean, teaching me all of this, sign me 4 clients in a week. So like, can't argue with that really.
Wild.
So those are the two things I wanted to show you about the sales conversations. It is helpful if you kind of, I feel like you'd get the most out of it if you give it context, obviously do your brand foundation properly, give it context of the messages and then start asking questions like, okay, why did you pull on that particular pain point? Or why are you suggesting putting it in this order? So that obviously the AI learns how you operate as well, but also you learn part of the buyer psychology and like why it's doing what it's doing, why it's asking what it's asking.
I love that. Bex,
Yeah.
before you got to this like point, maybe just for everyone else, like what is the strategy from like obviously you posted on TikTok, if you don't mind sharing, you posted on
Yeah.
TikTok, and then what was the whole sales process that led you to then be in here doing this?
Yeah. So the TikTok started going viral, applications were coming in. So they were finding the application either from the TikTok bio directly, which I think a lot of them were, or going over, follow me on Instagram, and then finding the inquiry form there. Um, and then in my inquiry form, I ask for the Instagram handle. So I will send them a message on Instagram again with like was it this one? Using what I know about what worked and what didn't work with like, I posted my previous example. So this is what I have been doing, or this is what I would typically say. It gave me the feedback and then helped me rewrite the opening message. And actually, I haven't got this has just popped into my mind. I haven't got the statistics to share with you, but my first response rate would be much higher with this type of opening than previously. I can't give you the numbers, but just as a general vibe, I know that I would often just get ghosted at the first message. That was happening quite a lot. But with this new opening message or the way I'm asking the question, actually the percentage of people who haven't responded to even the initial message is much higher, lower. It's better.
Yeah, that makes sense. So basically, you're getting all the applications, you get their Instagram handle, you reach out to them,
Yeah.
obviously, because they are coming from TikTok, but they're coming from
Yeah.
Instagram as well. And your opening message to contact them to talk
Mhm.
about your offer was quite low before and you were getting ghosted, but now you're not getting ghosted and you're getting more responses from people.
Yeah, and I think looking at the like my previous response versus this, which I can show you in a second, this is actually asking them a more direct question. Before I was asking them, I like to ask a few questions, see what kind of support's going to be best. You said your goals were this based on the inquiry form. Can you tell me a bit more about what that looks like? That's looking at it now, I'm like, that's so open-ended. Like, my ADHD brain would look at that and be like, that's way too much thought to have to put into answering that question right now. I'll come back to it. So that's why I think like the messages were getting seen most of the time, but not responded to. Whereas this new opening has said, like, before I tell you anything about how I work, I just want to understand what's going on for you. X problem, which they've identified in the inquiry form, looks different for everybody. Can you tell me, I think instead of what's the hardest part for you, I definitely didn't put not the goal, what's gotten in the way. I think it's like, so tell me what's actually been keeping you stuck or something along those. What's been the biggest challenge for you or something? And so that's, I think the response rate has been higher because it's a specific question and people have come to you, they've like seen a video or seen a piece of content, in this case, the TikTok, and they've been like, I have a problem. And so my first message is like, tell me what your problem is. And so they're more likely to engage. I think that's my theory.
Yeah. No, of course, of course. You're being hyper specific on and you're tying it back to their application as
Yeah.
well. So whatever they fill out on the application, from my understanding, you're taking that application, putting it into the session, and then from there, it's helping personalize every single message for that specific person with the specific pain points or whatever they've filled out on the application.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like the application's super simple. It's like a drop down multi-choice question. So it'll either be one of three things. So I can just replace or add whatever needs to go in there for them, which is good. And then, yeah, it's also told you why it's better, why it's stronger. So that was super helpful. So that's the two things I wanted to show you about the sales conversations. When it comes to content, I'm still testing. I've filmed 2 reels yesterday based on what I'm about to show you, and I'll be uploading them this week. So I'll see how they perform. So I basically dropped in, I've got a project called Growing My Audience, and then I've just got this chat under there. So that's one of my goals for this year is to grow both Instagram and TikTok. So I basically just gave it the information. I had a huge success on TikTok, signed me 4 clients, got me 33 applications. I want to know why it worked and how I can replicate it. And then for extra context, I filmed a follow-up piece of content where I explained a specific theory from the viral video further. And then one of someone who follows me on Instagram messaged me and said, your most recent post about self-sabotage really hit home. This is me. I thought I was the only one who did this. So that's super important and makes it clear to me that like, actually I am able to verbalize what other people couldn't verbalize before, which is really helpful. So I want to be doing this in my content this week, saying things out loud that she thinks no one else thinks about. So it said, can you give me information about the video? Cool, that's fine. I transcribed the viral video, so there's the transcription of that. And then it's given me a breakdown of like why it worked, why it converted so hard, what the comment tells you, although I've had to correct it because that was on a separate video, how to replicate both. And then I tried to transcribe the second video, but I couldn't find a free transcriber and it was driving me insane.
Girl,
So
did you know? Oh my God, Bex, did you not know that over on the left-hand side, you
I've
can
just done it.
you, oh,
I
you just
figured
did
it out.
it.
I figured it out. I was like, hold on, I've seen something on this. I've seen
I
this
was
before.
I just realized I'm like, why is she transcribing? What is
Yeah.
she doing? You can put the URL but everyone that doesn't know, you can grab the URL and you can
Over
put
here,
that
and then you
in the
paste it
left-hand
here,
side.
and then you import it, and then it will ask you what you want to do with it.
We got there. We got there.
I did. So anyway, I transcribed the second video, just took the URL, again, just did everything I showed you, came over to the Instagram tab on the left, pasted the Instagram URL in there, import to chat, and then it gave me a few options once it had like registered the video. You could transcribe it, you could pull hooks from it, you could rewrite the script using your own ICP. There was a few options. So I've obviously transcribed it. And so it's spat out here like what the hook was as well. I didn't write that down. It pulled the hook through. The caption, hashtags, first line hook, on-screen text, like it pulled everything about the views, the likes, blah, 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 everything with that. And I said, this is the video that got the response from this. And then it's given me what it tells me about this specific video, what the video did right, what held the video back from reaching more people. And this makes sense. The hook was so soft. It was a response video. It wasn't meant to be like another piece of content, if that makes sense, to like draw people in. So I definitely know I could have changed the hook. So that was good that picked it up. And then the connection between this video and your viral one telling me why it worked. And then it offered to rework the script with a strong open CTA so I could repost it, which I then said, I want to use this video in the viral TikTok to plan 3 to 4 talking head reel ideas for me this week that both drive a wider audience and encourage people to come and speak with me either via inquiry form or give them a reason to message me. And then it's come in here and given me some information around, like, again, why the other videos worked on TikTok and Instagram, the 2 separate platforms. And then it's given me some ideas. So video 1, and then it's given me some bullet points because I have told it previously that I don't like scripts. I feel like a robot if I read a script. I need bullet points that I can then yap about in my own words. Video 2, I think it's given me 4 video ideas based on my content pillars that came from my brand foundation. So I've worked a little bit back and forth. Some of them didn't feel that good. Some of them felt a bit, I think I told it at one point something was really lame. I said I like video 3, feels messy, and then just double checked, are these in line with my brand foundation pillars? It reran it, pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3, pillar 4, and then it's directly taken those 4 pillars and mapped out another 4 videos similar to the ones it gave me, just refined a little bit to talk to each of the pillars from my brand foundation. It's given me some suggestions. Then I asked about specific days of the week, just curious. Let's start with post 1. Give me some ideas under that pillar, and I'll see if any pull out mental threads for me to look at. Then in terms of pillar 1, it's given me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ideas that say are still in line with the pillar, but different angles that I could draw on. And I really liked and filmed yesterday this one here, the nighttime version of you. So I gave it my ideas, gave it some hook ideas, kind of gave it what was coming to my mind when I'm thinking about filming this particular reel video.
So with Beck, so basically, because you don't like scripts, so you're doing brainstorming with it.
Yeah.
It's coming up with angles under your pillars that are tied to your brand foundation. And then from there, you work really well off of talking points. So you pick an angle, you're like, oh, I like this one resonates with me, which I think it was angle 2.
Yeah.
And then you're basically now like picking that one and then diving deeper into that and getting the bullet points that it thinks that you should cover in that video. So you can freestyle and you get the hook. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So I've given it a hook idea that I had, and just kind of just the thoughts in general that were coming up for me when I was thinking about what I would want to say in a video. Then it's done an analysis and given me a bit of a cadence, like, okay, cool. So the shape of the video, name the pattern, name the gap, reframe why. So that also helps me organize my thoughts in terms of what I'm thinking about and what fits into what, it's called it beats, but I guess that just means 3 sections or 3 parts or whatever. And I said, cool, I like that. I like the structure. Can we map out some specific talking points? So Carmen is my like ideal client, like who my ICP is based on. So I refer to her as Carmen. AI knows who Carmen is and what Carmen wants because of all the information in the brand foundation. It's then given me like how it will relate to her specifically. Then it's given me some bullet points based on what I'm talking about. Feel like it's too long, there's no CTA. And then I just wanted some clarity on if I was positioning myself to help them find what the pattern is or more about, or if it would be more compelling if I named the pattern in the reframe part. And so we had a conversation about that. It tightened it up a bit because I said it was too long. We had a conversation about what CTA would work really well based on the intention of the post. And then it's again like summarized for me. So I've got everything in one place. I went and I filmed it. And then I basically repeated the same thing for the second reel. So I got to filming 2 yesterday. So same process. It's given me the angles. I've said I like 3 and 5. They kind of go together. Then it also asked me some interview type questions about what would make the story quite compelling. Because it does involve like a personal experience of mine to give context to what I'm trying to say. Which we've then gone through. It's given me, a structure on what it could do. And then I've gone and I've filmed it. And now today I'll go into post 3.
Good. That's so good. Bex, how do you you mentioned before, how do you like your thinking of ideas and context? I think like
Yeah.
what are you thinking about when you pull on those ideas to help you basically because what you're doing is you're brainstorming with the AI. You're not like you're leveraging Viera OS's capabilities for all of the co-workers that are writing the content and structuring it for you in the way that it needs to be structured the right way. But you're also feeding in your own ideas. Where does that come from?
I think it's because I want to learn as well. Like I want to understand why I would phrase something in a particular way or um also I think it helps it learn how I speak as well. Like if I'm like, this is my idea, this is where my brain's gone when you've prompted me that way, I feel like it's a good get to know you type of situation. Helps me feel also if my ideas are directly in there, I feel like I can connect to it more and therefore my delivery is better when I'm filming because then I'm already thinking about, okay, well, when I said that particular thing or when I thought of that hook, I felt passionate or I felt disappointed or I felt angry or really happy. And then that kind of helps me deliver it a little bit more authentically. Yeah, scripts are great and I wish I could be the type of person who could jazz it up, but I feel like when I'm in a good space and I'm in a good content filming space, I've got quite a big personality that I think does quite well online. So if I'm reading a script, I feel like I'm not really the ideas are mine in terms of like, what I've written, but the way that I would deliver it is just too different from a script.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. There's a question in the chat.
Oh,
Maybe Bex, you can show
yeah.
the project section. How have you got your project set up? And yeah, I am yeah.
Not that well. It's
Can you
very
make the screen,
messy.
can you make the screen a bit bigger, Bex? If you can make
Yeah,
the screen a bit bigger, that'd be helpful. Thank you.
let me
You
try.
can also adjust the screen on your own end. If you scroll, it'll allow you a plus and minus. I've been doing
Oh,
that too.
oh wow, on Zoom. There we go. We learn something new every day.
Let me.
No idea how to do that.
Okay. Oh,
If you
Oh,
click on her screen,
if
you
you go,
might get a
I think
magnifying glass.
I've broken it. Hold on.
that's okay. If you go too
Thank
far
you.
in, you just zoom back out once, Bex. Yeah,
There
kind
we
of.
go.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah. So
Cool.
basically, like I can kind of riff off on the projects just a bit of how it works. So on the home dashboard in marketing intelligence, like you can create like little see how it says your project, you can create projects. So like for example, if you wanted to just and it's just a place to isolate your chat sessions because you know how in your chats there's so many conversations and you've got so much going on, like you can create a project called content creation, or like, you know, a content creation for a specific offer. So it's just a way to kind of organize your chat sessions.
So I think I have. I've only, yeah, I haven't played with this very much, to be honest. It's when I first came in here, I created a new project called Growing My Audience or something, I think I called it. And there's one chat in there, which is where I'm having that content conversation at the moment. Everything else is not. It's just around here. This was me testing things last night. So yeah, I only have one. But if I'm being more organized, I could definitely have more than one.
I think you're doing things very cleanly.
Okay, that's good.
It looks very structured. It's better than having 100 chats.
True. Well, look, it's only been 7 days, so give me time.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. Amazing. Does anyone have any questions for Bex? How do we find all of that? Her walking through, you know, what she's doing and how she's using Viera OS.
I'm just getting
I've got a
started using
question.
it. This is Gigi. Oh, go ahead.
To me?
We'll go Gigi first and then you, Harry.
Okay, go.
Okay. I'm just starting to use it, and I'm curious. Sometimes it opens like this whole panel on the right side and it takes up so much space, but I don't know how to close that panel so I can work just in the thread. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, is that in the brand foundation and the products?
I'm in the offer architect and it
Yeah.
opens this whole thing on the right.
Can, if it should make it easier for you to see, but if you put your cursor down the line in the middle, you can toggle and you can push it over to the side.
Okay, I will figure that out.
Yeah.
And then for Bex, did you just start from scratch, or you had some TikTok, you just happened to go viral with this one TikTok and then you used it to iterate and make it better?
I've dabbled with TikTok for years, never really taken it seriously. And so I've had a few videos in the past go viral, which built up my followers. I think I'm sitting at about 20K followers on TikTok, but they are not engaged. They are so cold. And so I've started to use TikTok as more of like a testing ground, also a place to like build my confidence about like recording or filming content that's not perfect, because that does get in the way of me posting on Instagram. So that video just happened to be something where I was doing my client check-ins and I was like, hold on, this is actually really good information. Pulled out my camera, recorded the TikTok, posted it, and left it. There was no intention behind it. It was like, cool, let's give this a go. And then it went really well on TikTok. So I obviously reposted it on Instagram. It didn't do quite as well. The views were great, but the engagement, and there was, I think, only 1 or 2 applications from Instagram. So it was just a matter of like content cross-posting rather than anything else.
Yeah, maybe Harry, you can jump in and then we can kind of talk through like ManyChat and stuff.
Yeah, mine was a simple question about the COO. Did you use that, Bex?
No, I haven't dived into that yet.
Okay, I'm on the other polarity. I relied on that one and then
Oh,
realized it wasn't actually connected with everything else and so on. It's more like Claude. So thank you for sharing that, because the revelation for me now is I'm just going to be creating projects and working in there rather than just a long conversation with COO.
yeah, I see what you mean. I think in my mind, I separated the COO as like operations only rather than like content creation or sales support help or anything. But yeah, the projects I think will be helpful, so you can at least know when you're referencing back different conversations where in the conversation you had it, so you can go back and find it a bit easier.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's great as well because, like, if you think about it, your content and your ManyChat sequence and your DMs all connect with the content, anyways. And you know, it all starts with like the hook and the concept, and then it needs to funnel through the DMs. So I think like what you're doing is fine. I wouldn't, for everyone else, I wouldn't use COO for like sales, like for sales conversations or content creation, because it doesn't have it wasn't built like I haven't built it that way. It's more of like Beck said, the operation side, the business planning. Like it can help you plan out strategies for like hiring a staff member or planning a 3-day challenge and stuff. But then when it comes to the actual marketing assets that you're creating, you would want to either go to the marketing intelligence, and then obviously as I keep launching sections, there'll be different sections that you can go to. But yeah, that was a good question. Want to go into ManyChat sequence.
So I have ManyChat set up on my Instagram. I have maybe 3 or 4 code words running at the moment, which are for my freebies. But there is one that I've toggled off the other day, actually, if someone messages me a code word for coaching specifically. The freebie ones are fine. They'll stay how they are. But my intention at some point this week, it's on my list, is to go and have a conversation with the AI and ask, like, okay, if someone sends me a code word for like coaching specifically, what's the best way that I can open that conversation? For my audience, I think it's really important to be as personable as I can, because a lot of these women who come to me are very vulnerable and like, are about to have a relatively personal, vulnerable discussion with me. So I don't want them to feel like they're just a number that I'm sending an AI, chatbot into. So that's a conversation I'll have to figure out again, probably sometime this week or next week. But yeah, otherwise ManyChat is running for my freebies and they are fine.
How are you doing your freebies at the moment, Beck? Sorry, I'm picking your mind. I'm ripping.
That's okay.
What are your best freebies at the minute? And then I can share even just some of the things that I'm doing with you all as well.
So after the TikTok video went viral, my link clicks to my freebies went up significantly, which was nice to see. So I've got two main freebies. One of them is a MyFitnessPal 3-day detox, which is an email sequence freebie. And the other one is a ebook guide, however you want to phrase it, called Decode Your Food Noise, which is around like how to understand food noise better and, what different things, what's a few strategies that you could use to start moving through it. When I was having a quick look, don't have the numbers for you off the top of my head, more people were moving towards the food noise one, downloading the food noise one, than the MyFitnessPal 3-day detox. There was a few link clicks on a couple of digital products that I've got, but no one has purchased those. But lots of downloads for both the freebies.
And that's what allows you to start the conversations in the DMs too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's like another lead generation format, really.
Yeah. Amazing. On that note, on freebies, I think freebies are really good, but you don't position, Bex. I don't think you do from looking at your content. You're not writing in your content, get my free everywhere. No. Yeah. This is one thing that like, if you like, you want to get in the habit of like creating free assets, but you don't say, get my free all over your content. Otherwise, you're going to train your audience that you are a freebie person and you just give free information. It's more so of like a indirect way to provide value up front, but also entice curiosity and have people like interested in the thing that you have to give, and you still give them free value. Like what have I got? I've got YouTube videos, or sometimes I'll do a quick Loom video on something that I've done. Sometimes it's even just like inside of ManyChat, it's hey, here's how to do this Claude thing. And it's like 4 steps. Here's the prompt. Like, that's it. Like, it's about giving like a little bit of value up front, creating that connection with that person, and then use it, and then starting the conversation from there to take them to the next step, which is super powerful. And like, we've been doing this for a long time. What is your lead magnet formats at the minute, Beck? I think, did you say that before?
One's a 3-day email sequence of delivery, and then it's got a selling funnel off the back of that.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the food noise is just an ebook, like a PDF.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and I did notice from the people coming in from, I think mostly TikTok, I think that's where they're
Mhm.
like entering, a lot of people were downloading both.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good and helpful to have, like, I don't sell the freebies directly, but
Mm.
if someone's interested in working with me, they're probably going to be stalking everything about my page. When they land on the link tree, they'll find, the link to my podcast. I do also have a YouTube video from an old lesson that I taught somewhere, somehow. And so they've got a few options to choose from to learn from me before even talking to me.
Yeah, that's so good. And it really is a great way to like get in front of people. Like I'll show you a bit of as well for everyone else, just to give people like ideas if you're working on content at the moment. I'm testing obviously at the minute when I have a chance in between coding all goddamn day. But a few different things that you can kind of like whip together is like I always say have like two staple free assets. Now, that can be a YouTube video where you're explaining something that you do for your clients. It can be a PDF. It can be a Word document. You really want to give people insights. I always say the more value you give, the better, because you want people to experience value from you and feel like, oh my God, I can't believe she just literally told me the answer or exactly how to do something for free, and I'm not even paying this person. It should feel like that, like any form of a freebie. Like, for example, if I was to show you this one, like it took me, I obviously I use AI a lot, but also I teach a lot. So for all of you that are teaching, you have so much assets. You just got to take some of those recordings. And I used to drill this into Beck's mind as well. I'm like, why are you not paying attention to what you're doing with your clients? You're literally creating assets every single day. Every time you do a check-in, every time you do a Loom video for your clients, every time you give your clients feedback, every time you post inside of your community to your clients, literally every single day, you're creating something and you can use that as value for on social media. So I'm always thinking, like, I always think, like, for this one, for example, it's like Claude and Higgsfield because I've been creating AI ads. And, Viera OS will write this, like, will help you write content like this. Like, this is written by Viera OS. My content is all written by Viera OS. But you'll see, like, at the end, that the CTAs, like I'm not saying, and Bex doesn't do this either, I'm not saying, hey, do you want my free playbook? I do try not to use free at all. It's more so like, do you want the system? Just comment ads below and I'll send it straight to your DMs. Oh, I needed to get rid of that part, but it's a production SOP I use to make 10x ads with Claude and Higgsfield. And to show you, let me show you what the freebie looks like, because like this could get your minds kind of like tinkering on some like ideas. Let me show you. Claude and Higgsfield. So like because I use Claude and Higgsfield to make my AI ads now, um, basically once I finish, I'm like, hey, can you help me write a playbook? Like, and I send out my freebies are either this, it's literally a Word doc. Like, I'm not out there trying to make anything beautiful on Canva. I haven't got fucking time to do that. So I ain't got time. I don't care about making things pretty. I care about delivering the value. And people actually love Word docs because they can copy it into their Google Drive and then they always have it to like reference. So I find that this works really well. One thing that I didn't do, which I've completely forgot about, I will normally put a like a link to my offer to a product, whether it's a course, whether it's Viera OS. I completely forgot to put Viera OS in the footer here, but normally I'll be like, hey, are you looking to have let Viera OS create all your content for you? Click here to find out more. And normally I would put that in like the footer so that even though when people are reading this, I'm hoping to get those people to my sales page or to my landing page, or you always want people to take the next step. So you use the freebie as the way to give value, but then always positioning the next step, always. So you'll position it in the freebie and then you'll also From there, it will allow you an opportunity to start having those conversations with people in the DMs, which is what me and Bex have been doing for forever. So that's just like one idea. And then you can do YouTube videos if you want, like if you want to do short form YouTube videos, like that's a really great way to build your audience. Or like if you are building TikTok and you do more long form video on TikTok, you can also do long form video on TikTok and send people there to consume that content. There's no right or wrong way with doing it. I always say collect names and email addresses, and you always want to have at least one emailing sequence that introduces people to you on a personal level, like at least having 3 to 5 days of nurture emails of like, hey, this is my story, hey, this is what I've been through, sharing a bit about you, and then taking people into an opportunity to either purchase a digital product, whatever you're selling, digital product, a low ticket offer, book a call, fill in an application. Then you kind of take them into that, you can do a 10 to 14 day sequence of positioning your offer, and then go back into nurture, give free value, and then go back into like selling. But it's a really good way to build your list at the same time. Yeah. Any questions? Harry, shoot.
Just want to check something. I've seen some sort of pattern now that when people are giving their lead gen, especially with ManyChat, that when you go to click on it, it tells them that you need to follow them before they start giving you
Oh
the
yeah.
freebie. So is that ManyChat?
Yeah, it is ManyChat. Yeah, it's a condition. You can definitely do that with ManyChat.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's a little feature. I think if you look, I think it's a condition or a trigger.
It's on the left-hand side when you're creating like, or an edit mode, you can toggle on like must be following or something, and then you can, if you toggle it on, you can write the message that you want to go out.
Yes.
The question is, how do you feel? How do you feel? I don't know. I'm like the anti of like guerrilla marketing. So it's like if someone, after about 4 people did it, anyone that was telling me to follow, I was like, I ain't even going to bother taking your freebie, man. But
yeah.
so I'm not sure how I feel about it and so on.
I don't look, I tested it last year and I was doing it, but then I agree. Like I think because everyone is doing get this, it's so like overstimulating now with so many creators and so many people doing the same process. It's like where it's so normalized, it's kind of annoying now. So I actually reduce a lot of the friction. Like I used to do that. I'm not even in ManyChat anymore. I'm like, fuck ManyChat. Like it's just got way too many things and it doesn't work half the time anymore. So I'm just in Go High Level and I'm trying to keep it as short and as simple as possible. Even I have considered like not even asking for names or just like trying to reduce how many steps they need to take, because that will create friction now because people are over it. They're like, how many people got my bloody email at this point on a daily basis? So
What does that look like? What does that look like in GHL if you're not using ManyChat?
it's the same, honestly. I think the only like it's the same. And actually today me and Mon are sitting down trying to like get Claude in there to have like conversations too. So once we figure that one out, we'll share it with you. But for instance, like you can obviously integrate your Instagram directly with ManyChat with Go High Level. So it really operates just the same. The only thing that you can't do is obviously make someone follow you. There's no conditions there, and you can't message new followers, which by the way, that new on ManyChat, I don't know if anyone else is using it, but like that new follower, like as soon as someone follows you, send an automated message. That was one of the things that got my Instagram like restricted. So, and I got it back. So I don't trust it anymore.
Yeah.
But But it works the same. Like I can do a quick video on this, like for you guys, that's no problem at all. And I do have many chat Loom videos. I have to go digging. I can find them and I can pop them into school for you all. I don't mind showing you this, but it's pretty straightforward. Like they comment on a post, then we respond on the post. It works very much the same. The thing that I'm like, it's so much easier, and then we don't have to zap details from ManyChat over to Go High Level is I can just add them at the end, obviously. I can just add them. Oh shit. Where'd it go? Oh, here, workflow. I can just add them to my course, like to my emailing sequences from here. So once they go in through the DMs, everyone's getting pushed through an emailing sequence that gives them my AI free course that's on YouTube. So everyone's going to my YouTube at the same time. And then I'm also selling Viera OS now. So this is something that I'm testing at the minute. But I do like Go High Level for this reason, is that ManyChat is so hard to send information over.
That suits me fine. So is it do they get tagged as soon as they do a DM, or
Yeah.
and then go straight to that workflow?
Yeah, so what we've got set up is like as soon as they come in, I've set this up where they will go into pipeline, Instagram leads, new IG lead, code word sent. And then from there, they get tagged as IG DM leads. Then from there, Patricia's helping me with the DM. So we'll add a task, and I'm like, this person has entered the DMs after commenting toolkit. So she loves tasks. So it tells her. And then from there, it just organizes everything for the team.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. For all of you that a little add on there, and then we'll get to Scott. This is like a really cool strategy. If you know you go and look in school at the DM ad strategy, like you could run a lot of DM ads and DM lead ads from your ad account, and then get a whole bunch of like leads in the DMs, and you can just manage them all in this like one spot, which is like pretty cool. Scott, over to you.
Hey Jess, what was the trigger on that, at the very top of that workflow? Because I've used Go high level workflows for like emails and SMS, like when new members join, but I've actually never used them for the socials. What's the trigger at the top?
Yes, let me show you, and we can all thank Monique for figuring this one out because I definitely didn't. This is just it at the top. So the trigger is
Comments on a post.
comments on a post page. You have to connect your, well, this is Monique found this, so she found that you have to connect it to your Facebook page.
Yep.
And then select, oh no, page is, sorry, Instagram. That's my Instagram. Post type is published post, and then contains phrase, and then you've got the phrases there.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, any idea? Because I was going to boot up some DM ads for both my B2C and the B2B offer. What I've noticed over this last week or so, when people are commenting on my B2B on my Instagram, even though they're not saying the words build or influence or fuck, what was it, workshop, whatever it might have been, they're receiving this like the first contact blueprint, whatever it might be, right, for in-house couples, which is my relationship offer.
Uh,
And it's just firing anyway, because I'm actually in my mini chat at the moment. I'm just double checking these kind of keyword things, whatever it is. And yeah, the words are like, anyway, do you know what I'm
oh,
asking? Like,
yeah,
why
yeah,
is
I
it
know
still
what you're,
sending the resource when they're not
yeah.
saying the word?
Uh, if you go to ManyChat, hang on, let me log into mine. And then, so this is annoying. I've had this happen to me before. So like, hang on, let me just do this one.
Because I'm thinking about just running some new DM ads where they just get given a simple resource and I can
Yeah,
just jump back in maybe
yeah,
voice notes and
yeah.
really remove the friction, as you say, and accelerate that process.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
that'll work. Okay, so one thing that I noticed, like, and then this is an example. So like even if you go and turn it off inside, like I do this, but then if you say show all, there's sometimes I've missed hidden ones that have been hidden there. And then also if you have turned them all off, oh, that's really only what I notice. Or if you go and check like all your other active ones, and sometimes if you go to comments on posts, if you go to edit, it all posts. Let me go. Maybe you might have any comment toggled on, something there.
So
In
that's
that,
it. I've just opened up a flow at the moment. I'll just go to edit. Sorry, do you mind if I just share my
oh,
screen with you? Is that cool?
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so I've got the words here,
Mm,
a specific word or reaction,
yeah.
and I don't have that toggled on.
Okay. And then it's firing. What's the keyword that, do you know what the keyword is that's triggering?
Um, well, for this one here,
I think,
like it's like workshop or something like that. But I just noticed that, for example, these, yeah, don't say it yet, for example. Like people have been commenting, you know how like you'll
yeah,
have an ad
yeah,
and the call to action button is learn more, but sometimes people just type learn more, they don't actually click on the ad. And it's firing that it's sending some influential
yeah.
comms workshop or something like that.
Oh, it's probably hidden, if hidden in here somewhere. You, the code word that that's triggering it is probably hidden somewhere in one of these many chat automations. It's a bit annoying to find. I wish you could just search code words and it would bring it up and find it for you.
Okay. But for now, like the only real fix for that is just to pretty much just turn off
Yeah.
all those automations. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you have to go through it, most definitely.
Okay.
Or change the keywords. Sometimes if I've had keywords that cross over too much with something else, I think I messaged you the other day and I said, what did I say? I think was the
Yeah,
word
I think you
relationships or
got
something.
something. Yeah, yeah. You would have got some spam. Yeah.
And then it triggers your many chat. It's so annoying, like that sometimes you're in conversation or it'll trigger it. So you'll just have to find what that word is.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
amazing. All right, guys, how was that for today? Do we have any final questions for Bex? Any final questions for us? Or are you all ready for homework? Put you all to work. Cindy, you look beautiful. You've just popped up on my screen.
Oh, thank you. I just got my hair done.
Looks great. You look beautiful.
Thank
Okay,
you.
you're welcome. All right, so homework, everybody. I'm gonna plan with like Bex maybe and plans and put together maybe a bit of like a challenge for everyone. And basically, I would really love, let's all dial in our content for the week. Let's use marketing to intelligence to start mapping out your next 7 days of content. And then I'm going to get off this call and I'm going to put together a task for everyone and I'm going to put it into Score. And let's make the rest of May our best content sales month. You know, if Bex can make moves like this in her first 7 days, like we can all do it. Like we absolutely can. I think most people just have sometimes it's a clarity of like how does everything add up to every single piece? Like what hook works with what CTA, and then what CTA works with what DM strategy, and then what the fuck do I say in the DMs? Like there's so many processes to getting a client. But what I'm going to do is I'll take this call recording as always. I'll turn it into a beautiful strategy for you all. And then you'll have your homework. And then let's set some goals. Post in the group how many clients you want to get by the end of the month. Or if you're doing core sales or whatever, like let's post in the group, let's do an accountability post, let's hype each other up, and let's make the end of May the best month ever. Cool? Sound good? All right, fam, I will see you all soon. I'll pop the recording into school and we'll all chat. Bye.
Bye.